All right, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Again, appreciate all the love and support with you guys coming over. Um, Back on the Recollection Road channel, and we got 12 things not found in schools anymore that we want back. Let's see. I'm just trying to think back to school. I was a very, very smart kid. The older I got, I feel like I had so much crazy stuff going on in my neighborhood and home that I kind of lost focus. So I'm just trying to remember what things was in the classroom. But we're going to check this out, see if I remember. Appreciate all the love and support. As always, I'll leave the link to their channel in the description, man. We ain't going to waste no more time. Please comment below. Let's jump right into it.
Remember the joy you had when you saw a substitute teacher roll in an AV cart with a television strapped to the top and a VCR underneath?
The
This
best.
meant it was movie day in class. This is something that students today will never understand, because most classrooms are now outfitted with built-in projectors and smart boards connected to computers. The old metal carts carrying a boxy television was special, and it brought a sweet feeling of relief to classrooms full of kids.
I'm trying to wait. How long? I can't even remember how long was class. Did we ever finish a movie or did we continue the next? I can't even remember how long class was.
But within the last decade or so, these have almost completely been phased out.
I used to love that when it would happen.
While you were at the library, you used to have to look up where to find a book, and this was done at the card catalog.
Yep.
The Dewey Decimal System kept everything nice and organized, and it allowed you to find things relatively quickly if you knew how to use it. I don't think kids today have even heard of the Dewey Decimal System, because students no longer have to sift through tiny drawers to find a particular book. Computers have replaced the card catalog altogether, and everything is available with just a few clicks on a keyboard.
You really had to work for it. Really.
Speaking of the school library, do you remember the checkout cards that were attached to the back cover of every library book?
Yep.
The card listed all the people who had checked it out before you, and it was fun to see if you recognized any names. School libraries are generally called media centers now, and they have far fewer books in them. The checkout card in the back of books has disappeared, replaced with a barcode that allows librarians to scan the book, which is tracked through a computer program. The experience of checking out books at the library has changed drastically, and many of the details that made it special have disappeared.
I'm not a big reader. Maybe I need to get back into it.
Chalkboards, too, have been replaced. Now dry erase whiteboards and interactive smartboards are used in place of the iconic chalkboard. How many of you remember being called up to write on the chalkboard? Or maybe you were one of the kids chosen to clean out the erasers by clapping them together. Chalkboards have still endured as symbols of learning long after they disappeared from schools, and many of us will never forget learning how to write in cursive while standing at the chalkboard. Today, you probably won't see students' names drawn out in cursive on the cover of their notebooks.
Did you guys ever have to write standards? I will behave in class. I will behave in class. I don't think I ever had to do that. Maybe they didn't catch me. They caught the other one.
Or at the top of a worksheet. Cursive has become an outdated skill that is rarely taught today. With the exception of the legally binding signature, few students are taught the proper way to gracefully connect their letters together in 3rd grade, like we were taught back in the day.
The best.
Just about everybody brought a metal lunchbox to school, which featured their favorite TV show or superhero. These metal lunchboxes were status symbols, and unlatching it signaled the start of lunch. They were so popular, over 1 million lunchboxes were sold between 1950 and 1970, with kids begging their parents for a new one each year. Inside the lunchbox, you might have found a matching thermos, too. These were great for those cold winter days when you needed something to warm you up. Today, lunch is a little less exciting without the rattling handles, the dents, and the bits of rust that the old metal lunchboxes would collect.
Those are so cool.
Before the world was introduced to Google Maps, teachers had a set of pull-down maps hanging above their chalkboards. During geography and history class, the maps would get pulled down so students could see where things took place and learn the location of all the states. Now, map images can be pulled up quickly on the teacher's computer and displayed on the board through the projector.
Yep, I remember those. Nostalgia.
Wall-mounted pencil sharpeners seem to always tear your pencil to shreds, but nonetheless, these devices were in just about every classroom you attended. You either sharpened your pencil unevenly, or the metal casing would detach, and all the pencil shavings would spill on the floor. Since then, and maybe for the better, these manual pencil sharpeners have been replaced by electric sharpeners that do a better job. Overhead projectors that rolled around on a cart used to be a fixture of every classroom. To display math problems or vocabulary words so that everyone in the class could see it, teachers would use an overhead projector and clear sheets of plastic that could easily be cleaned between lessons. Now it has become more common for teachers to prepare PowerPoint presentations, use YouTube videos, or even use an iPad to work through class problems. The smell of Ditto machine copies was a highlight for many students. As the sometimes damp pages were passed out, the purple duplicating ink gave off a sweet smell that students would inhale and never forget. It was also a treat to be the student chosen to go make copies. Operating the Ditto machine and cranking out copies was a fun job that gave you even more exposure to the smell.
The hell was that? I don't remember that.
In the not-so-distant past, most students sat in identical desks, with a wooden top and a ridge that held their pencil. The desk portion was attached to the chair, and there was usually a spot underneath to keep your books. All of the desks in the room were arranged in rows that faced to the front of the classroom, making everything look very uniform. Now, more and more schools incorporate different types of seating arrangements, with tables and chairs having replaced the individual desk.
I remember those. Very uncomfortable for me at 6'5".
To wrap up this video, let's not forget about the handwritten gradebooks and handwritten report cards that we used to get. The gradebook was always by the teacher's side and required that every grade be entered and averaged.
How many of y'all tried to change the grade on your report card? Come on now. Come on now. How many of y'all did it? I know it's a few out there.
Manually. Once all the grades were in, report cards were sent home quarterly, and the teacher's handwritten letter grade would be written for each subject. Students would then take them home for a parent's signature, much like they still do today. The computer-printed report cards just lack the style that those handwritten ones once had. I hope this look back at how schools used to be brought back some fond memories for you. Let me know in the comments if I missed anything.
I'm just trying to see if they're going to say anything else. But I definitely feel that we were more focused as kids growing up. Because now, oh, there they are. Look at the chairs. I definitely feel like we're more focused now than they were back then because of technology. You know, I know some teachers will be like, all right, everybody bring your phones, no phones. Because, you know, the whole thing is like going to school. You were excited to see your friends if you had some. You were excited for like lunch or recess or whatever the case may be. And then like when you were excited to go home, and like I used to be super excited to do homework, especially when they start putting my like papers on the wall because of my handwriting. You get home, do your homework, and then you go and play. And you just repeat. I'm really just trying to think, like trying to put myself back in the early 80s with a cell phone, like the ones they got today. I would low key probably be famous, low key. Because some of the stuff I used to make, could you imagine? Like, maybe I'm going to start doing that. Show her what I used to do as a kid, recreating those videos. Yeah. I can't wait till it rained again. Maybe I'll go race the popsicle sticks. Stay tuned. We'll see. Appreciate you guys coming over and watching. Peace out.